So we do see a lot of talk about how the Culture Hub is underused, and I'm interested in your thoughts as to why it is underused. And you've both mostly addressed what is needed to bring a change back to using it. Uh, just want to see what your thoughts on why it's underused, and I guess we're starting with CSP.
I, that goes back to really a common theme that it's not being prioritized. Um, that's not to say that there aren't great priorities coming out of the culture ministry, because there are. Okay, let's not oversimplify what I'm saying here. Um, I think that being president, um, and being a good minister is about setting priorities. Um, and I think that the priorities I've put forth are both more specific and more readily attainable than the ones Calvin have put together. He identifies four priorities. One, we're 100% agreed on, which is the incorporation of foreign visitors into weekend games, excuse me. The others, frankly, befuddle me a little bit, and if they're the top priorities, it doesn't put a lot of confidence on any sort of vision for culture in the next term under Calvin. Survivor is one of his four priorities, a program that has already been defined, is underway, and is successful. The other is to bolster Religion Row, which is essentially a minor role-playing, borderline spam part of our forum. And the other is to plan an interregional festival that is in no way defined. He hasn't told us anything about what the goals are, who might be involved, what a theme might be. A major plank of his culture platform is to simply have an interregional festival, and I don't think that measures up. If we're going to be talking about having specific plans, I think that's a bit of a fallacious characterization that's seemed to take hold.
Calvin?
Could you repeat the question, Garrett? I just want to clarify we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, so I was saying we see a lot of talk about the underutilization of the Culture Hub. What are your thoughts on why it is underutilized, and what is needed to bring about a change that brings it back to the fore?
Yeah, that's what I thought the question was, which is interesting. Why CSP kind of just attacked my platform instead. So to specifically address the cultural hub, I think the reason right now that it's not being utilized is if we look at what the cultural hub is, if we just go down the row here, it's role play and it's spam, art, writer, writer's block, talking about theater, and talking about games. So if we look at all of those different things, Euro kind of already does a lot of those on their own, but not necessarily in those areas. The ones that I think are the most active are definitely the Spam Zone and Religions Row. To specifically address religion, as somebody who's been really involved in the Religion Row from basically the start, I find CSP's characterization as a slightly role play area that is mostly spam based, and therefore is something that is minor and should be ignored. You'd kind of be like, if we're looking at what the culture of the region is, in his own platform, he talks about how role play is something that we shouldn't ignore, and then he talks about religion as really one of the few places we've seen role play work, and saying that should be discounted and we shouldn't use that.
That's not an accurate characterization of what I said.
About. So if you want to respond, I guess you can respond.
Yeah, I think that's a mischaracterization of what I said. I find it odd that in trying to find four priorities, that was that close to the top. I didn't say that the Religions Row is useless. I said that I don't think it warrants top billing in a presidential platform, and I think it's indicative of a lack of direction.
Well, if we want to talk about top billing, like after weekend games, which is something we both agree is something that is the priority, right? That's our first top billing for both of us. Your next priority after weekend games is talking about those contests in the Writer's Block and Aurora Art Gallery, which, you've already kind of talked about, like, I've talked about why they don't work, and then your response is basically like, well, they might, and then if they don't, then we'll do something else. Like, that's basically the lack of vision right there. Like, I have a plan for religion row and those sort of things that has been shown to work in the past. Yours is not.
Interesting. A European debate where we have some contention.